And I also need some help getting tables brought down to the court. Yo necesito ayuda con las mesas y las sillas. Tenemos que traerlas a la cabina.
I think the aspect of the work that we do with YouthWorks that's probably the most valuable to me is being able to speak honestly about what some of our very deepest misconceptions or preconceived ideas are. And in this case, in this kind of program, we have Mexican teenagers and adults and US teenagers and adults coming together and really having an opportunity, because they've become friends over the week, to talk about what's really going on. What is the situation in the world today? Why are nations at war? Why do we think that we might be better than somebody else? What's the information that we've been receiving about the person on the other side of the border that might be incorrect? Because we're able to build genuine relationships in just such a short time, it's a safer space to ask really difficult questions. It's a safe space to say, here's what I've thought, and maybe it's wrong, and help me see how that's wrong. Or just because of what you've been observing all week long, you realize that the generalizations you'd like to make about Mexico or about the US just don't work anymore. I've specifically watched a lot of barriers come down throughout the week as we interact with each other, as we really become and are the church together with a common mission.
Like, the main thing of being there is building relationships. And a lot of people don't understand that, but the whole thing is just to be there with people and to be friends with them and do things with them. Like, we were in Tecate, Tijuana, Rosarito, and every single place, like, even though we may have been there a day, just working with people there, like, we don't even speak the same language, but we were able to have a lot of fun and build some great relationships with each other.
YouthWorks is a short-term Mexico mission program for high school students from both the Baja area of Mexico and the Southwest U.S. We join together with those churches and we serve in whatever ways they're asking us to help them serve it. And what we bring is just more hands and some resources that go right along with what's already going on. We understand that there are ministries and outreaches taking place before we come and long after we leave, and we're just there for this snapshot of a week. And so we dive in wherever we're told to go. This last year in the 2008 project, we spent a week in a couple different cities, actually. We made camp our home base camp in a city called Tecate, which is just 15 minutes south of the border. And every day for the first 3 days of our camp week, we would go to a different city.
Siempre es interesante convivir con personas de otro país. Me gusta cómo se maneja esto. Es muy importante porque cambia tus ideas de muchas cosas, desde cómo vive la gente hasta cómo eres. Es una buena manera de cambiar ideales.
I think the program stands for something that hopefully our future generations will seek to put themselves into it. And there's nothing else like YouthWorks out there. It's something that's really pushing teenagers to look outside of themselves and look into different cultures and see how they can help it and change themselves to better accept it.
It is a cutting-edge trip for teens to broaden your perspective of the world, to realize that everyone doesn't live like you do in your own little bubble. Once they grasp what we're trying to teach them, it It's amazing. I can't even describe the feeling. It's really cool.
Going on a mission trip is quite scary for some people. I think it also puts you out of your comfort zone. It shakes you up a little bit. And when you're in unfamiliar territory, doing some unfamiliar things that stretch you, there's just an amazing opportunity for spiritual growth and an amazing opportunity to connect.
The reason I came on this trip is because a lot of my friends used to go on mission trips and they come back all excited like, oh man, you know, we did this or we did that, and I was really kind of jealous of them. So I was kind of looking for it online, and my mom found one from Point Loma, and that's where I want to go. So we decided just to give it a shot, and it's turned out great.
Como quitarte una venda de los ojos y dándote cuenta de la realidad de la vida. Ya nada de, oh, vamos a ser amables y no decir cosas malas, sino ahora estamos aquí para tratar de enterarnos de lo que está pasando. Entonces, definitivamente como quitarte una venda que has tenido siempre.
I would describe YouthWorks as a youth-driven mission organization that really seeks to teach teens how to bridge the gap, the cross-cultural gap between U.S. and Mexico, while at the same time keeping the mission that Christ set out for us between just living the gospel through loving your neighbor and loving God.
One of the coolest things I've gotten to be a part of were these ministry outreach fairs that they created for us to join in. First day we were in Tijuana, the second day Rosarito, the third day Tecate. And different members of the local Nazarene congregations joined us, and we were able to set up 15 canopies, 15 tables, a bunch of chairs, and provide some really needed services for people in the community.
Ver toda la gente que necesitada y la sonrisa de los niños y la convivencia que tenemos unos con otros, me gustaría que siguiera aumentando.
I think it's important to do stuff like this because it's a way of ministering to others about Christ. And there's a passage in the Bible that says, whatever you do for the least of these, you do for me. And I just think that's really important because there's a lot of people in other countries that don't really get to hear about, you know, God or see how, you know, the way He works. And so going on these trips is just a way to, you know, minister to others.
The last evening is a very special time for me personally. It's the culmination of a whole week's worth of being together. And we always do some sort of an ending service. And so this year, the district superintendent of the Baja district decided we were going to start off that evening service time Thursday night, the very last night there, with a fiesta before that. And so we ended up doing something a little bit different and we took off the whole afternoon. We stopped our work projects at lunchtime, and we had a full volleyball tournament going on and side games of soccer and jump rope and whatever people wanted to do to just celebrate. Music was blasting. And once those games died down, we moved into the service mode, and everybody gets dressed up and comes together. And people who we've been interacting with from all churches nearby come to the service as well, and it's an extended time of singing. This year we had a choir. It was our first time ever. We also get to hear people sharing from the week, adults and teenagers alike, talking about what the week meant to them and lessons that they're taking back home. In a way, we believe that what we do helps to shape what we call global Christians and to plant seeds that will hopefully lead to a compassionate lifestyle.
You're always being a role model for the teenagers that are in your group, and what you're asking of them is something that you always have to be conscious of doing yourself, like whether it's in small group discussions or you know, in events that we're holding, like with the churches or with the Mexican participants. You have to say, how is this changing me as well? Because, you know, it's definitely an experience for you too as a leader. You're in a totally different country, you're experiencing new cultural things, and you know, some people haven't even been outside California before, so this is something new and different for them to learn from and learn about God from as well.
He aprendido a convivir con gente que no es igual a mí, pero podemos hacer juntos un trabajo.
I feel like all of them have learned something new and are definitely going to remember this week and go back changed.
es ver cómo ellos están creciendo es como un espejo para mí, porque nunca había pensado también que a la edad de 14 años yo tampoco estaba enterada de lo que estaba pasando a través de la frontera. Y a su temprana edad he aprendido cosas que nunca había pensado a través de esos muchachos que tienen 14 años, que es lo que he aprendido de este programa, que te enseña a pensar de lo que está pasando a través del mundo.